Jesus and his disciples are heading into Jerusalem. And so Jesus, as he's planning to head into Jerusalem, he tells his disciples, go into Jerusalem and retrieve a colt. And so they do. They head into Jerusalem, they get this colt, and they bring it back to Jesus, and they put their cloaks on it. And Jesus sits on this colt, and he rides into Jerusalem. And as he's riding, people lay down their cloaks, and they put down these palm branches in front of Jesus. And they shout, Hosanna! Blessed is the one who comes in the name of the Lord. Blessed is the coming kingdom of our ancestor David. Hosanna in the highest heaven. And people understood the significance of this event. There's this passage in Zechariah chapter 9, and it says in Zechariah 9 that the coming ruler of God's people, the coming king of God's people, is going to bring peace to the nations. The coming ruler of God's people would bring peace to the nations. And it says that his method of transportation would be a colt. And so they see Jesus riding in on a colt, and they understand the significance of this event. They know that Jesus is the coming ruler of God's people who's going to bring peace to the nations. Now, this was a processional about peace. But other processions into Jerusalem were different. Just that same day, Pilate is riding into Jerusalem with a show of military might. Swords, shields, helmets. He's showing off his military might. Why did he do that? Why did other processions show off their military prowess, their military might? Well, because Rome always wanted people to know how powerful it was. If you show off how powerful you are, then people aren't likely to mess with you. And so Pilate is showing off on the same day military might. And so we've got this one procession over here of Pilate bringing in all of his military into Jerusalem. And on the other side of Jerusalem, we have Jesus coming in to bring peace to the nations. A kingdom of peace versus a kingdom of might. And the clash between these two kingdoms, the clash between a kingdom of peace and a kingdom of might, will soon result in Jesus' capture and his death. Now, Jerusalem is the holy place. Jerusalem is the place where you go to meet God. The temple is there. That's the place you went to meet God. And so people that went to Jerusalem, they went to Jerusalem to meet God. But Jesus was going to meet something different. Jesus was going to meet conflict and death. And so Jesus, riding in on this colt, is headed into Jerusalem to meet conflict and death. The crowds that are now shouting Hosanna will soon shout crucify. This celebration will soon turn to devastation. Jesus' kingship will soon result in his death instead of his glory.